Someone insults you. Your pulse jumps. Your mind sharpens, not to listen, but to strike back. In that moment, they own you. Not with force, not with power, but with a few words. Think about that. A stranger, a colleague, even a loved one, can press a button inside you and change the way you feel, think, and act. We live as if self-control is ours, yet we hand it over every time we explode. The Stoics saw this as the greatest loss a person could suffer, not losing money, not losing status, but losing the command of their own mind. Seneca called anger a temporary madness. Marcus Aurelius warned, if they can provoke you, your mind is complicit. This is not about being calm for the sake of peace. It is about becoming untouchable, the kind of person no insult, no delay, no unfairness can move. The question is, are you willing to train for it? Why anger owns you? Anger does not begin in the world around you. It begins here, inside your mind. When someone cuts you off in traffic, you think it is their action that made you angry. But if you look closer, it is your judgment of that action, your belief that it was wrong, unfair, personal. The Stoics made a clear distinction. There is the event, and there is the story you tell yourself about the event. The story is where anger lives. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That is not poetry. It is diagnosis. In the modern world, anger is everywhere. On the freeway, in offices, in families, in politics, on every screen you own. We live in a constant stream of provocations, small cuts that bleed energy, moments designed to trigger you, because when you react, someone else gains power. A politician can make you furious with one sentence. A stranger online can ruin your morning with one comment. A careless remark from a loved one can live in your head for weeks. Why? Because you hand them the keys. You believe they can control how you feel. You accept the role of the puppet. And anger is the string. The Stoics would call this slavery, not physical slavery, slavery of the mind. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom, in their eyes, was not about moving where you wish, or speaking what you wish. It was the freedom to remain unshaken when the world tries to shake you. Anger owns you when you believe you have no choice, when the gap between stimulus and response disappears, when you are no longer a person, you are a reaction. Most people live their entire lives this way. They go from trigger to trigger, from one fire to the next, and they wonder why they are exhausted, bitter, and restless. The truth is simple. You cannot control the actions of others. You cannot control the world. But you can control whether it owns you. The first step is to see the pattern, to notice how easily you are moved, how quickly a word can change the course of your day. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And that awareness is where the chains begin to break. The hidden cost of anger. Anger always feels justified in the moment. It feels like strength, like action, like the only honest response. But it is a clever disguise. It hides what it truly takes from you. The first cost is control. Each time you lose your temper, you confirm to yourself and to others that they can move you at will. They know the buttons, and they will use them again. The second cost is your relationships. A single outburst can undo years of trust. Words cannot be unsaid. Tone cannot be unheard. People will remember how you made them feel long after they forget the reason for the fight. The third cost is your health. Anger floods your body with stress hormones. Your heart works harder. Your blood pressure spikes. Your sleep suffers. Live this way long enough, and you carry the storm inside you every day. The fourth cost is clarity. Anger narrows your vision. It makes the smallest problem feel like the end of the world. It blinds you to solutions. You are not thinking, you are striking. And in striking blindly, you often hurt yourself most. The fifth cost is reputation. No matter how competent you are, how talented, how skilled, if you are known as the one who loses control, your influence shrinks. People trust the calm in a crisis. They fear the one who cannot hold the line. The Stoics understood these costs. They saw anger not as a tool, but as a thief. It robs you of peace, it robs you of respect, and in time, it robs you of yourself. This is why they trained not just to reduce anger, but to remove its grip entirely. Because every time you feed it, you pay more than you realize. And if you could see the full bill, you might never feed it again. The Stoics did not avoid life to avoid anger. They stepped into life fully, and they trained to remain calm within it. They did not rely on luck or on other people's good behavior. They built habits that made them steady in any situation. Here are 5 of those habits. 5 principles you can train, not once, every day. 1. The pause. 3 seconds. That is all you need to take back control. When provoked, your instinct is to react immediately. That is the amygdala speaking, the part of your brain that acts before it thinks. The Stoics knew a gap between stimulus and response is the space where freedom lives. Next time someone says something sharp, pause, breathe, 3 seconds. Let reason arrive before words do. You will feel the pull to speak, to defend, to strike back, resist. Those 3 seconds can save you from hours of regret. 2. Control the controllable. Epictetus taught, some things are up to us and some are not. Most anger comes from fighting reality, from trying to change what is beyond your reach. You cannot control traffic. You cannot control someone's manners. You cannot control whether a person respects you. You can control your choices, your focus, your words, your effort. The more you invest in what you can control, the less power the uncontrollable has over you. 3. Reframe the insult. Seneca advised to treat insults as noise. The barking of a dog, the wind through a narrow street. You do not argue with the wind. You do not try to teach the dog better manners. When someone tries to offend you, remember, their words reveal them more than they reveal you. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. 4. Negative visualization. Marcus Aurelius began his day expecting trouble. Today I will meet the busy, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful. This is not pessimism. It is preparation. If you expect perfection from the world, you will be angry every day. If you expect flaws, you will be calm when they appear. Before you enter the office, remind yourself, someone will be rude today. That is human. I am ready. The rudeness will still arrive, but it will not surprise you. 5. Build inner discipline. Calm is not a gift. It is a muscle. You build it through training. The Stoics trained with daily practices. Meditation, to observe the mind without judgment. Journaling, to review the day and refine responses. Voluntary discomfort, to prove you can endure without complaint. Each practice makes you less fragile, less reactive, less dependent on a perfect world to feel steady. These 5 habits will not remove all anger overnight, but they will break its grip. Each pause, each reframing, each acceptance of what you cannot control is a link in the chain coming loose. In time, you will see the difference. The same insults, delays, and unfairness will still come, but they will not move you. You will stand where you choose to stand. Calm, present, unshakable. Philosophy is useless unless it is lived. The Stoics trained not for books, but for the marketplace, the battlefield, the home. Here is how these principles work where life actually happens. 1. On the road. You are in traffic. Someone cuts in without signaling. Your first instinct is to react. Tight grip on the wheel. A horn. A curse. Pause. Breathe. 3 seconds. Remind yourself, I cannot control their driving. I control mine. Let them go. Protect your peace like you protect your life. 2. At work. A colleague interrupts you in a meeting. Takes credit for your work. You feel the heat rising. Your mind builds the speech you want to give. Pause. Reframe. Let their behavior show who they are. My work will speak for me. Later, address the issue in private, with clarity, without heat. Control the controllable, your tone, your timing, your actions. 3. At home. Your child spills juice over important papers. Your partner forgets something you asked for 3 times. Negative visualization prepares you for this. You knew mistakes would happen. You expected imperfection. Choose to teach instead of punish. Guide instead of explode. Calm here matters more than anywhere else. These are the people you do not want to hurt. 4. Online. A stranger posts a comment meant to provoke you. Your thumb hovers over the reply. Ask, does this deserve my peace? The answer is almost always no. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. Silence is not weakness, it is control. In each of these moments, the event is small. The choice is large. Anger promises satisfaction, but it costs control. Calm feels harder in the moment, but it leaves you in command. The Stoics lived this way not because the world was gentle, but because the world was harsh, and they refused to let it make them harsh in return. The world will not stop testing you. People will cut in line. Speak without thinking. Judge without knowing. You cannot change that. And you don't need to. Your strength is not measured by how loud you can shout, or how fast you can strike back. It is measured by how still you can stand when the storm is right in your face. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. He faced betrayal, war, and plague. Yet in his private writings, he reminded himself each day, no one can harm my mind without my consent. That is the goal. Not a life without conflict, but a mind no conflict can own. You will fail sometimes. You will slip. The fire will rise. That is human. But each time you notice it sooner, pause longer, respond wiser. You are winning a battle most people never fight. Calm is not a gift given to the lucky. It is a victory earned by the disciplined. So let them test you. Let them try to provoke you. They will discover that the buttons they used to press no longer work. And in that moment, you will feel something better than the rush of anger. You will feel freedom. True freedom is this: to walk through chaos untouched.